Hi, my name is Shannon. Thank you for joining me today for this yoga practice to help de-stress and relieve anxiety in the body. A lot of times when we're experiencing stress or anxiety, it can feel really overwhelming, like there's a million thoughts going on in our brains. So today we're just going to slow things down and take the time to really give back to ourselves, to recenter, and to fill up our own cup so that we feel ready to give back to other people. For today's practice, I recommend wearing comfy clothes that give you room to breathe and relax. It's also helpful to have a meditation cushion or a pillow or a bolster, something to allow you to sit up on for the beginning. Also, it's really helpful to have a blanket. I currently have a blanket underneath my feet for a little extra padding. Having a bigger pillow or a bolster, one that is horizontal, will be really helpful in your practice as well. And then having 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, then you can use thick books. And it can also be helpful to have a yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use the tie of a robe or a yoga carrying strap or a towel, something to just give yourself more space in forward bend. When you're ready, take a comfortable seat on your cushion or pillow. Align your spine one on top of the other. And close your eyes, letting the shoulders melt down away from the ears. And breathing here, starting to focus your attention on your breath. Breathing in through the nose, perhaps for a count of 4. Exhaling through the nose for a count of 4. We're going to start with a grounding meditation to help combat the feelings of anxiety, overwhelm, and stress. So feeling your seat and your feet rooted down on the ground. And then envisioning branches. And these branches are going to come out of all of the surfaces of your body that are connected to the floor. So perhaps that's your feet or your legs. And those roots are going to touch the floorboards or the ground that you're sitting on. And they're going to start to dig deeper underneath the floorboards or the ground, underneath the concrete, the rock, underneath the layers of the earth, dirt. And these roots, they're going to continue to go down into the earth, spreading wide. And eventually these roots are going to make their way to this warm center. And this center is going to provide a sense of nourishment, comfort, warmth, and grounding. It's going to provide stabilization, and a sense of being protected. Breathing here, feeling your roots firmly planted into the earth, grounding and supporting your body. And when you're ready to open your eyes, we'll start with a few rounds of cat-cow spine. So as you inhale, bring your belly forward, lift your chest. As you exhale, start to curl your spine. Drop your chin into your chest. Good inhale, opening up, and exhaling, curling in. You can start to also integrate some torso circles into this, so still flexing and extending the spine, but maybe also bringing the body in circles. Whatever intuitive movement really helps you release here, I want you to do that. So checking in with your body over and over, and today we're going to really make this practice about making ourselves more supported and more comfortable. So whatever allows you to find more space, that. Now if you're doing the circle, make sure to reverse directions, coming forward, rounding back. Also helps to get into the hips a little bit, but we're still getting that flexion and extension. And then coming back to center. As you inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. As you exhale, release tension. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up, open your mouth, exhale, let everything go with it one more time. Inhale, shrug. And exhale, let it go. Then walk one hand over to opposite knee. Inhale, reach the other arm up. As you exhale, gently come into a seated twist. Twisting from the mid part of the spine. Using your exhale to guide you. And then coming back to center and making your way into a twist on the other side. Grounding through both sits bones here, letting your sits bones root you into the earth. Lengthening through your spine as you twist. And then coming back to center. You can move your blanket and cushion off to the side. And we're going to come into a supported child's pose. So this is a really awesome way to do child's pose, just to provide a little more comfort for the body. If you'll be using the bolster today, you'll place it long ways on your mat, and then you will place the bolster in between your legs and touch your big toes together. Or to sit your hips back, and then come forward onto the bolster. And rest one ear and cheek on the bolster. And just allowing your body to be heavy and supported here. Knowing that you can choose to make this pose more comfortable, sometimes by elevating the ground even more, by stacking a blanket on top, or putting blocks underneath the bolster, or you can choose to remove the bolster. Again, always asking yourself, how can I be more comfortable here? And then gently coming up, switch the direction of your head so that the other ear and cheek are resting down on the mat. Finding a sense of heaviness and grounding here. Child's pose is a great way to turn inward and just rest the body. Feeling the ground and the earth supporting you. breathing full, deep belly breaths. And then slowly starting to come up. Now making our way into a supported hip opener, we're going to come into a supported pigeon pose. You'll bring your right leg in front of the bolster or wide pillow that you're using today. And you want to make sure as well that you've got space behind you to extend your back leg out. When you're ready, your right knee is going to come over to the right. Your left leg is going to extend back behind you. You can always pad over your mat or a blanket underneath that back leg if that helps provide a little bit more comfort and cushion. And then you can bring one of your blocks with you here. And you'll start to fold forward, coming down, resting your forearms on a block, and coming into a supported pigeon pose. So having something underneath that front leg will just create a little more space. Keep your front foot flexed. And then find some heaviness here. And check in with your body. So noticing if you're holding on to any tension that you don't need here. Breathing into your hip. Labeling any thoughts or any emotion that comes up, but without judging it or without deciding whether that thought or that emotion is good or bad. It's just a thought, just an emotion. Let it be. Using your exhale to gently come back to your body, to your breath. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to come up. We're going to make our way onto pigeon pose on the other side. You can gently kind of slide off your bolster. And then we're going to make our way with the left leg in front. Take your time to arrive, lengthening the back leg long, and turning forward to the front, flexing your front foot, and then starting to fold forward any amount here. You can bring a block with you to rest the forearms on the block, bowing forward, breathing here, noticing how this hip feels compared to the other side, approaching it with a sense of curiosity, knowing that the hips usually will feel a little bit different. It's quite normal. And not being hard on yourself. Distractions come up here. Much as you can, focusing in on the breath, and also just letting go of tension in your body where you can. Maybe coming down a bit deeper. Full belly breaths. And then slowly starting to come up. Coming off of the bolster. And then if you'd like, you have the option to actually sit on the bolster for this next pose. Sometimes having a little bit of height underneath the sit bones can help make a forward fold feel a little more accessible. So if you have a strap today or a towel or the bathrobe. We use that in our forward bend. So take the legs out in front. You can also move the fleshy parts away from your sits bones. And then when you're ready, lengthen through your spine as tall as you can. You can inhale. As you exhale, start to slide your hands forward. Now you can bring the hands down to the ankles or feet, or you can take that strap, wrapping it around the balls of your foot, and then using that strap to create a little more space in your forward. Keep lengthening through your chest, opening up through the heart. As you lean forward, getting that hamstring stretch. The forward bends can be calming to the nervous system. And just continuing to check in with your body and see where you might be holding on to tension. You really don't need. Breathing into the backs of the hamstrings. Lengthening through your spine. Breathe. Don't necessarily have to fold very deep here to feel a stretch. But just taking the time to stretch the back body. And sometimes stretching the hamstrings can also help to alleviate tension in the low back. Release tension in the jaw, forehead. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to come up. Good. Take the strap over to the side. And coming into a seated bound angle pose. So touching the soles of your feet together, letting your hips open to the side. Now if you'd like, you can still be seated on a cushion or a bolster to prop the hips up. That can be helpful to allow the natural curve of the spine, especially if you find yourself rounding forward a lot like this. Putting up on a bolster will help to really give your spine that nice stacked feeling. And then we're going to come into a hip opener here. So a couple options. You can slide blocks underneath the knees for a little extra support in your seated forward bend. You can always take the blocks away. Another option, you can place a block on the highest height, starting to fold forward and maybe resting the forehead on the block. Or maybe you stack multiple blocks, rest the forehead. But finding a sense of stillness here as the hips open. Again, checking in with your body, asking it how you can find a little more space, a little more comfort here. Your roots are still supporting you and anchoring you to the earth, while your hips are opening. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly start to come up. Good. From here, moving into a supported bridge pose. You can move the bolster out of the way for now. We will use it again shortly. And then having your blocks nearby. Walking your feet in towards your hips. Lowering down to the ground. And then pressing your feet down into the mat. Lift your hips up. Then slide a block underneath your sacrum. So the sacrum is this triangular bone in the pelvis. And that's going to be an area that can help to release the low back and support the low back while in your bridge. This helps to take some of the effort and pressure out of the pose. You can relax a little bit more into it. The block under the sacrum can be on any height. It can be tall, medium, or lowest height. Whichever height allows you to have the most support. And then keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling to protect the neck. Breathing here. Full deep belly breath. Soft belly, soft jaw, soft gaze. Either close the eyes. And then lifting the hips gently. Slide the block away. Lower down to the ground. You can bring the hands on the heart and the belly. You can just gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And then moving into a supported fish. So back bend. Roll over to your side. And then grab that bolster that's nearby. Place the bolster long ways. And then bring your sacrum touching the bolster. Make sure that you've got enough space so that your legs can be long in front of you. And then when you're ready, you can start to lean back. And then your arms can come by your side. And your palms face up. Allowing shoulders to be heavy. Allowing the chest, the heart to open here. Close your eyes. Just bringing your awareness inward. Letting the ground and the bolster support you while you still open, but with maybe a little less effort. Breathing fully here. Letting the diaphragm expand. And then slowly rolling over side. And then come. The last pose that we're going to do today is legs up the wall pose. This pose is so wonderful for the body to reverse blood flow. So you can use a bolster for legs up the wall if that is a helpful tool for you, or you can choose to lay flat on the wall or even use a blanket. I'm going to use a blanket today. So asking yourself what will help support you in a way that is most comfortable. And then you'll come near a wall and you'll face one side of your body towards the wall. And then in front of one relatively fluid, swift motion, you'll bring your legs up the wall. And always readjust, bringing the feet together, letting the wall support the feet. And then the arms can be out to the sides in a T position, or you can rest one hand on the heart, the other hand on the belly, or you can reach the arms towards the wall. but finding a variation of legs up the wall that feels good for your body. Now, if legs up the wall feels too intense, you could also do a Stonehenge pose here, bringing two blocks close together and then stacking a bolster or a pillow on top, making a little Stonehenge, and then draping your legs over that. And just allowing your body to be heavy here. Again, checking in, asking yourself, where can I release a little extra effort? How can I be a little more comfortable here? Where am I holding tension in my body that I don't need? And you can stay legs up the wall for another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes. And when you're ready to come out of it, and bend the knees, lowering the legs, maybe taking a quick butterfly position here, and then gently lowering the legs over to one side, and pressing yourself up, and making your way back to your mat, and finding a comfortable seat, just like how we started. Just checking in with your body now that we've done a few poses to unwind and to deregulate stress, anxiety, to really tap into the parasympathetic nervous system. So, getting into that rest and digest state instead of that fight or flight state. So important throughout the day, throughout the week, month, and year to come back to this practice to find some stillness and really just get out of that monkey mind. It will help you to feel calmer, more centered, and less stressed. So thank you so much for joining me today. Comment below and let me know which pose felt best for your body, for your mind, and I'll see you again on the mat soon.